Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly Grimdark Master, because today we're carrying on with our ongoing campaign, playing, Fantasy Flight's excellent Rogue Trader RPG, set in the 40K universe, the Grimdark future. And with me today are the stars of our ongoing Rogue Trader campaign. We are currently playing through a leg of our campaign called Lure of the Expanse, which is... Oh, did I forget to grab that adventure? I gotta grab a book, guys. Right after our outro. I grabbed all the other things I needed, but I forgot to grab that. We are playing through our version of the Lure of the Expanse adventure, which is a pre-written adventure. If you're intending on playing that, this session will likely contain spoilers for that. If you're not concerned about that, well, then allow me to introduce you to the stars of today's campaign. I'll go the order. I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing? First up, we've got Sean.
Hey, I am playing the Rogue Trader Scion Quinili Aquare. That it's been a little while.
It's going to slowly ease into that name.
Yeah, it takes a little while, but to be on the bridge of the Mortis Probati.
Very nice. Yeah, you've been taking quite a bit of direction from Aquares the last few months, so it must be good to be back in the Aquare chair once again.
Indeed.
Nice. Next up is Jeffrey.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and I am playing Alessander, the ship's Voidmaster.
Very nice. And last but certainly not least is James.
I'm James. I'm playing Regius Benetech, who's a member of the Salamander chapter. No, sorry, who's a navigator and a secret aficionado of Xenotech.
Very nice. For those who may be joining us live or around live as well, we are starting about an hour and a half late. The reason being is we've been getting ready for our summer plans for the Friday night 40K sessions. So, James, do you want to tell everyone what we'll be playing over the summer?
We will be playing the Death Watch.
Yes! We are bringing some Astartes to the table because we're having people are going to be absent for part of the summer due to commitments or whatnot. We're going to not have enough folks to play regularly this campaign, but we want to stay in the grim darkness of the far future where there is only war. And so we'll be playing Deathwatch. We'll be creating characters in a couple of weeks' time, and then we'll be launching a summer campaign for that. And what better way to spend your summer than in a giant air-conditioned suit of power armor? So, but the task before us tonight is to check in on our main crew of the Mortis Probati. So, let me quickly, if you guys want to talk amongst yourselves to try and remember where we left the main crew when we took our break, because last time we tried to play, you may remember we had that issue with the character sheets, which have subsequently been, or at least it was fixed when I checked earlier today. Let me grab the book.
Added a little color I can see the last time I looked at it. I mean, I haven't seen it in a long time, so I don't know, but there's a little bit of color on it now.
Let's see here.
Just a touch.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. So it's easy to tell which one's selected, right?
Yeah, it's nice.
Would you guys try rolling one of your one of the tiered skills at the bottom? Remember, that was one of the things we had issues with before in Firefox, and I think it was fixed last time. Oh.
There you go.
There we are.
Looking good.
Okay, so that's fixed. Love it. And I believe...
This is a big change, isn't it? It's quite fancy now.
Yeah,
It looks a little fancier. I agree. I think it's a little fancier.
Ooh, guys, I wonder what the Deathwatch one is going to look like then.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it may not get the same attention. The Deathwatch one was quite good last time. It did a lot of the...
yeah, it was decent. It was decent, right?
Yeah. So, well, this is great. Terrific.
Ooh, and the character sheet's completely changed as well. Wow.
What did?
I just opened the character sheet, and boy, it's got spruced up a load.
Yeah.
Deathwatch?
Yes. No, I was just opening up the character sheet.
Oh, yeah. Looks good, right?
Guys,
Looks good. Impressive.
There's a Perils of the Warp and Psychic Phenomenon button
Oh, nice.
to roll as well. Look at that. And
They
the
added one.
Psychic Phenomenon one has the results
Wow.
programmed. And then, let's see here. Oh, and look at this. So you roll your Perils of the Warp thing, and if you've got something that allows you to select, so let's say I want to select 40 as my thing. Check this out. So it automates the Perils of the Warp and the Psychic Phenomenon things.
That's really cool.
That is really good.
Super cool.
Yeah.
It's impressive the Rogue Trader's getting attention at this point.
Look at this.
I'm impressed.
You can also roll critical hits on the ship.
Wow. It's a true fan.
Yeah.
It's a true fan doing this.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, I think that, the video
credit.
game, I'm sure, Reignite, even though the mechanics in the game are very different from
True.
the role-playing game, I imagine that they had some interest. Did I go and grab it, or did I? No, I said I was going to go grab it, and then I got distracted by something shiny. If you guys could begin discussing where we left our explorers.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
I honestly have no idea. I got to look this up. See if I have any notes.
Me neither. We're in the Coronis Expanse.
Right. There you go.
For these guys,
Well, we were all docked here. I mean, what I remember, we were sort of trying to figure out what to spend a resource on this witch's promise or witch's auction.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think that we all kind of agreed we weren't very happy offering any of our treasures. We didn't really want to part with any of our current treasure. And so we were trying to figure out some other potential. And I believe we had, the crew of the ship had been kind of sending our minions out around doing our bidding. We hadn't really been
Yeah,
they were
getting our hands
effectively
dirty.
let's bring everybody over.
slot and failed to get anything useful.
Yeah, they failed us, Captain.
Unbelievable. If you want anything done, blah, blah, blah.
The useless bunch.
Seriously.
So let's have
That's why they're Imperial Maledict and Rothenbury minions, and not like us.
Yeah, you can even hear it through the, what do they call it? The psychic
Vox?
Not the psychic choir. What's it called? The
Astral Choir.
I could even hear it through the astropathic choir. The patheticness when I said, "So what'd you find? What'd you bring me?" And it was just silence. It was unbelievable.
The vague sound of shuffling shoes coming through the speaker.
Yeah.
Baleful looks on everyone.
Okay, your health bars have disappeared for some reason on mine. What is going on there?
Oh, this is quite invigorating for the game. This seeing this character sheet, it's like
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
it's got the love. It's got.
Okay, I think it is. Let me try doing something here.
Oh, I'd forgotten that Regius was actually quite capable.
There you
Nice.
go.
We just got to get his eye into play. I think our goal is to get his eye into somehow.
All
into
characteristics of 50 and above.
play. Oh, really?
There we
One
go.
at 60.
Wow.
Wow. I'm not even close to that. That's impressive.
Okay, I'm just fixing the tokens. They've. Probably because it's a new sheet. If they fuss the sheet around, that might be why these are fussing around for me now. But yes, your summary, I think, is accurate, and that is roughly where we'll be picking up in a second here.
I show late October was at least my last.
Yeah. Well,
Rogue Trader.
the last time we tried playing, it was we were finally ready to get back to this, and then we couldn't get the sheets to function, so we were like, all right, fuck it, we'll just play some more Imperium Maledictum, and then kind of went down a hole in that one.
Right. We met Lord Captain Cherry at her bar. That's what I have.
Yep.
We agreed to join forces with her at the Seven Witches foretelling auction in about 2 weeks. There was talk of what to offer with our Aquila warps. I don't know. I have it as a warp statue, but that's not what it is. But anyway,
what do you call it? Aquila Nemolith.
Yeah. We were followed at one point by the Crow Spirits Eldar for unknown reasons. Subsequently learned it's very unusual behavior by them.
Yeah.
We discussed probably meeting with the Twilight Swords Eldar regarding the Crow Spirits and possibly about the Eldar aspect of our ship.
Yep.
Alessandar unsuccessfully attempted to buy a plasma pistol. Sorry, Alessandar.
Very sad. That was a very sad moment. He spent a bunch of our whatever it's called, our ship resource.
Profit points, I think.
To try and get it. And
in contrast, Quinili acquired a best quality power sword for his offhand. You know what? That's classic, though. We're like, the staff is just squandering around, and the rogue trader goes piling by and collects it.
Oh, you couldn't get your one weapon? Well, I'm burdened with 2 right now that are awesome. So,
right, totally.
We
learned that the AOI had tracked us with the anti-ship gun to likely shake us down for money, though they might not if they assess us powerful enough.
Yeah.
That's what I have for last session.
Yep. Okay. Anything to add, guys? To your captain's admirable summary?
Nothing that I can think of.
I guess captainly summary. I don't want to promote you,
So why not?
Undeservedly. Then, what I think we'll open with is, after I've spent all this time fussing around with this particular thing, let me see if we're going to see a similar issue when we bring you over to the bridge. Everyone bid farewell to the macro statue.
Macro statue?
That's very sad.
Dave, I can't remember what he said on Wednesday, but he's trying to get a macro statue cognate going in our Wednesday game too.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? They might have been the Quaggoth.
Oh.
Because the Quaggoth are playing a not insubstantial role. Oh, is that irritating? God dang. Can I just do this? Yeah, I can. Oh, James, I lost your camera, unless you turned it off.
I know, sorry. I went to go get myself some Turkish cookie.
Okay.
Now I'm back. Nobody wanted to see my hairy chicken legs when I went on.
That sounds fancy, though.
I mean, you should see the amount of comments I have about it, but, I mean, it's fine. Good things come to those who wait, right? Okay, so let me bring you guys over to the bridge. Every time we move the tokens over, it puts a formula in place of your actual wounds. So I'm having to re-enter the wound numbers. You guys all remember who Lady Ash and Octus Ocaster are, correct?
Let's see. Lady Ash. Yeah, Lady Ash is our psyker, right? Isn't that our...
Yeah.
And then what was the last one?
She was what you call a lateral hire.
Yeah,
Right.
she's really gone to shit, hasn't she?
She got a haircut in the interim. Yeah. Oh, I got a handout for you too, guys, for the new and improved Lady Ash. Where are we here? Here we go. Look at this, guys.
Oh. Whoa.
Yeah. The other picture we were using for is a great picture of an astropath, but the way that her personality has come out in this campaign, I think, is much closer to this illustration than it is to the more refined one that we were using for the other. this is someone who could turn her back on Haderach Fell and expect to live. So,
it looks like her ship's credits were good.
yeah, for the full makeover, absolutely. So I think, Alessandro, you're overseeing the flight crew, perhaps Regis, whatever it is you do as part of your, your killing time while in at Footfall. And Captain Aquare, Lord Captain, I believe that you may be pacing on account of the deadline for securing something for this offering. It is coming. And I think it's hard not to notice the presence of Lady Ash when she comes in. You hear the creak of the wings of her new cyber familiar, another crow fashioned in some kind of exotic metals with bizarre, like, gemstone type structures, no doubt artificial, for eyes. She walks up to you. You question the... I mean, if it is something that has a machine spirit within it, I mean, that may be a... Surely it's not thinking on its own, because that would be heresy. But
Heresy.
she walks up and...
I'll be eyeballing it. Her familiar.
She says...
really more appreciative than judgy, I think. I'm more like, huh.
Okay. She walks over. Lord Captain.
Lady Ash. Well, if you see a strange look on Alessander's face when he sees your familiar, it's just because he couldn't come up with a pistol he was trying to buy. He might be a little sore about the whole thing. Anyway, go on. What do you have? What do you have?
Alessander yelling at some flight crew, for no reason.
Bitter, just bitterness.
What are you doing, you fool?
Yeah.
What? She looks over and she says, my Lord Captain, it is known to me that the weight of the decision for what to advance as a offering for the foretelling has been weighing heavily on you, and I believe I may have an idea that will prevent you from having to make the challenging decision of giving up something of your own.
Pray tell, Lady Ash.
She looks around the bridge. Perhaps something more discreet, Lord Captain?
Oh, surely. And then I'll lead off to my cabin, I think I have something, at least holding room next to the
So kind of your Lord Captain's ready room.
Yeah.
If you make your way in there, she follows along, and I mean, she would want to talk to you first about it herself. She says, am I correct, Lord Captain, that you find yourself deciding between the Nemelith recovered from your ancestors' vessel or something precious within the Mortis Probati itself?
Yes, it's been a bit of a struggle. I don't like my choices. Can you add to them?
I can, or I believe I can. I have heard what, or at least I have my suspicions of what Haderach Fell will be offering for his bid for a place in the foretelling. I think it not a surprise that he is here. But I can tell you that on the fell hand, within his vault, he has a number of items secured there which would easily meet the seeming specifications for uniqueness and for being something of interest to the witches of Footfall. In particular, Lord Captain, I know that the Lord Captain... Oh, can you hear us still, John? The Lord Captain can't hear our pitch, then...
I think I'm back. Am I back?
Are you back? Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry.
Where did I leave you or lose you?
He definitely has things in his vault that would definitely meet the requirements
For uniqueness and of interest to the witches of Footfall.
Indeed.
When you bring up their names even, it disrupts the Immaterium, so I assume that was your audio issue.
Yes.
She says, in particular, I am certain he is not making the offer of it. But in one of his last voyages deeper in the Expanse, he found a probe crafted of archaeotech. And something with... Oh, I've got... Something's playing in the background, guys.
It's not me.
Someone having a video playing or something? No? Okay.
I don't think so.
I heard a video playing in the background somewhere. I don't know whose thing it was.
Lady Ash's communication device.
The witches of Footfall once again.
Witches.
What she says is it was a probe sent by mankind in some distant reaches of the past. Crafted from archaeotech, which confounded the explorator on Lord Captain Fell's vessel, and which contained, I am told, an exotic and unique machine spirit. I happen to know who is the Vault Master. And as I'm sure you have noticed, the Fell Hand is a substantially larger vessel than the Mortis Probati. There are many ways to navigate through such a large vessel and seem as a shadow. What I propose, Lord Captain, is you permit me to bring you and some of your key advisors for a task as important as this. You would have the discerning eye with which to judge the worthiness of this. If we can enter the Fell Hand, I know the way to the Vault Master's quarters. And I can plumb the secrets of accessing the vault from his mind. You then, Lord Captain, should have access to the vault, and the archaeotech probe could be yours.
Sounds worthy. Let's we'll bounce it off some of my other command staff.
Indeed. I will add, Lord Captain, my powers are such I can make it as if the Vault Master is unaware of the of our presence, unaware of his actions, and unaware that he had granted us access. With the assistance of your explorator, we should have no difficulty convincing the machine spirits to likewise forget our presence. Lord Captain Fell does not rule his vessel as yours does, as you do, through benevolence and command of presence. It is through factionalism and fear that he rules. And as such, it is not uncommon for violence to break out among the various crews. Should that be necessary, it may seem the not uncommon squabbling between the various crew factions.
This sounds like quite a plan. I am
Would you care
favorably.
Would you want me to remain while you discuss this with your crew? Or do you wish me to wait? And nothing's tingling in your head, so you're not. You're pretty sure she's not reading your mind. She has been in there once, and quite handily made herself at home. You may recall.
I will go for initial consultations on my own, but may ask you to join to fill in any answer any tactical questions that may arise.
I will wait on the bridge, Lord Captain.
Very
she
good.
Leaves, and you're able to, with like a comm or something, or a vox unit, able to summon the other important members of your crew, the bridge crew, as it were.
Indeed. I will call Alessander and Regius.
Do you want Octus to join you as well?
Sure.
Yep. He does.
Yeah. Since Godwin is off on one of his drinking binges or whatnot.
Maybe checking up on loyalty among the crew.
Oh, there you go.
Her comment about the your benevolence and leadership notwithstanding, you do know your Master of Whispers has been active on the crew as well, or on the ship.
Yeah.
So, Alessander,
I'm a
and
good cop. I get to be the good cop in that.
What's the look that is on our Lord Captain's face when Alessander and Regius join you in the ready room?
Pensive. She introduced quite a bit there. There's some different levels to the different intrigue within intrigue there. And so he was trying to put it all together, get his arms around it.
Okay. So the two of you come in. You see Lady Ash is waiting there too, and her, again, unusual opaque eyes are watching you as you go in. Regis, you are of course aware she's blind, so she can't possibly be watching you, but yet you can't help but feel that.
Have them in, close the door. So, obviously, we've been agonizing over what to use for this auction. Lady Ash has come up with another option, and that is to steal off of our nemesis Fell's ship an item that she suggests and indeed sounds worthy of the purpose. Is it archaeotech? Archeo?
Yeah, it's archaeotech, so it'll be dating from the Dark Age of technology, in all likelihood.
She suggests, asserts, that she can get us there. She knows the his vault master, vault master. His vault master can skim off his mind the ability to enter the vault without his knowledge of her being there. And that we would then be able to go and pilfer what we would. And through some of her subterfuge, some of her warpish subterfuge, we could do this with none the wiser. And she suggests that perhaps if Octastor? How would you say it?
Octus Ocaster.
Ocaster.
I think is how we have been saying it.
Indeed. If Ocaster comes with us, then perhaps he can convince machine spirits to be as ignorant of our presence there as human minds will be. It's a bold thought, but I am intrigued by it. Also, particularly considering since we have been struggling with the decision. What are your thoughts?
My lord, it sounds a very appealing option with its risks, but it avoids us giving up such valuable things while at the same time we deal a blow to the enemy fell. But I have to ask, it almost seems too good to be true. And that it requires us, your entire leadership team, to go to the Hell ship. Lady Ash, this would not be some way to ingratiate yourself back into the good.
The Lord Captain has bid her to wait on the bridge, recall.
All right. So my concern would be, is this Lady Ash's way of ingratiating herself back into Hell's good books by delivering you and your crew to her?
Yeah, there's no chance this is a trap, sir.
Yes, I can appreciate that, because it is a rather bold plan going into the heart of his stronghold.
And given her previous allegiances, it's
I'm not sure what to do about that. I mean, I'm not sure if one was to pursue this plan at all, how to mitigate that risk.
Right. That's fair.
Octus, I think, says, with a lesser telepath, we could have a psyker scan her. But with Lady Ash, who among your choir could match her potency?
Indeed. Absolutely the toughest to deal with there.
But an archaeotech, for something this far in the Expanse, and so far from the rim, word is that Fell has traveled far in the Expanse. Who knows where it may have come from? It may be a unique treasure. His mechadendrites are agitatedly twitching. No doubt a treasure worthy of the witches, Lord Captain.
Easy, Octus, easy. You're going to overstimulate your mechadendrite, man.
I am most
durable and ever in your service, Lord Captain.
So you think it's a you're thinking to have her brain, her mind scanned for betraying thoughts, Octus?
Who could achieve such a thing?
Do we have it? Do we? Does anyone come to mind?
He's not wrong. Like, if you focused several members of the astropathic choir on her, probably, because like there is strength in numbers, but she is a phenomenally powerful telepath. The astropaths are gifted in different areas, pyromancy, telekinesis. She happens to be a very powerful telepath. So, her ability to resist that and potentially harm those who are going in may be difficult for them to do so. Though, I mean, if she is truly your servant, she may open herself up to that. She also has been quite prickly and may take that as a sign that you are as unworthy of a master as what Haderach Fel was. But you could make a setting that would be a way of reading minds, and that would only be as accurate as what the scan would offer. Who's to say she's not powerful enough to give a false reading, and that the lesser psychics would not know? But you're also a quite good judge of character, are you not, Lord Captain?
Of course.
You could simply do that.
Infamous of the Aquare clan.
And if she has anything further planned with this, you could also ask her. Before you do so, what could she gain from it? Having betrayed Fel to seemingly his death last time, you guys did leave him behind with a Necron-infested vessel.
And I must say, I'm a little bit disappointed that he reappeared. So.
Yeah, it does seem a bit dubious of what she would gain, given that she burned her bridge there in the first place. Does it make sense that she would try to get back in his graces? Like, how good could it be?
Delivering you up would be a huge boon to Lord Fel. But I agree that perhaps this is a case where we have to rely on your judgment, Captain.
So, if we want to take the path of trusting her, which is maybe prudent and could result in good things for us and the crew, we could plan ahead that if it is a betrayal, we are prepared with some sort of a backup plan. Some kind of a detonation device with us, or something that would threaten the heart of their ship if we were a chemical agent or a disease or something dangerous for them to kill us or to imprison us on their ship, that we could release in retaliation, that they would not want to be beset on them.
I like it, Alexander. Some kind of wild card of chaos.
Yes, exactly. A wild card with which to get off the ship with our lives if it truly was a trap.
It's a good thought. Yes, because I
Sorry,
probably
it's in the way.
probably behooves us to trust her, I think.
I think it's reasonable.
But to have something in our back pocket would be nice.
Exactly.
As you suggest. But
maybe we could find something devious to bring along.
Indeed. But I like the idea. I mean, it does seem a little too good to be true, though, as far as all that she says she can pull off. I hope that she is up to the task of not only. Well, we'd have to somehow. I don't believe she said how we'd get there, so we'd have to somehow manage to get aboard his ship without his knowledge. I don't think she offered anything of that regard. She said she could skim the man's mind without him knowing.
It's not quite. She could make it so that so he would not remember.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
There is a telepathic power that allows you to get information out of the mind, and there is a telepathic power that allows you to change the memories of a mind. She has access to both of those.
Quinelli just probably just sort of ridiculously paraphrased it however he wanted.
No, and that makes tracks that you wouldn't have a full appreciation of what her abilities are, but yeah.
Yeah. And then we'd have to get it. We'd have to. That would need to work. We'd get inside the vault, and then we would need to be able to leave with it. So there are a fair amount of steps to this plan.
One of the things that works in your favor is to recall the scale of these ships. Like, these things are... James sent a pretty funny a video that did a scale comparison for these things, and like the largest tanker vessels that we currently use on Earth barely make up the prow of one of these ships.
Yeah,
they are just titanically large, and the modus probandi is even larger. So if you were to bring us, a group of 100 soldiers in, then yeah, that's going to be noticed. But a small group of individuals, it's such a big ship, it's very difficult to keep track of everything. And these things are all old, and the machine spirits are often temperamental. This is not a Federation vessel where you're going to shut down certain places and put up, force fields or something like that. It will sometimes proceed at the speed of Vox communications, which can be temperamental. And given the size of them, it's not unusual to see uncommon faces, though typically crew stay to their specific locations.
So it seems like a worthy idea. Does anyone have any questions for her? I could bring her in.
None that would seem insulting.
Octus looks around.
She could be watching now.
Exactly.
Perhaps.
If she is, the insult is already worked.
Then I'm going to think we go for it, Captain.
Yeah, I think we probably do. It's a twofer in that we would have an item for the auction, and it would be at least somewhat of a blow to our nemesis. My grandfather always was a fan of the twofer. Family trait, family craving.
It is very pleasing.
It is.
Well, it's something as well, bearing in mind, knowing what little you know of Hatterback Fell thus far, if he didn't learn that you had stolen this until it's offered up at auction, do you think he would admit it?
No, he would simply try to get us back at some time in the future, at some future moment. No, he certainly wouldn't file a police report. He wouldn't file an Arbides report. No.
Well, I think as we've learned as well, the only Arbides on Footfall are corrupt bounty hunters, who I believe are now dead.
Right.
Oh wait, did you guys kill them? You knocked him out, I know, but
I think he lived. Didn't he live?
I think you learned that he was hired by agents of House Fell, right?
Yeah, the middleman. I can't remember his name at the moment. Started with an
So
S.
he's still in your custody then, I imagine. So then, do you wish to bring Lady Ash in?
Yeah, I bring her in.
Okay. Lady Ash rejoins you and says, Lord Captain, Alessander, Navigator, Explorator.
Indeed, everyone agrees, I believe, that your idea is intriguing, to be sure.
Certain you have questions then?
Significant risk. Quite a few steps to this plan.
Indeed.
Both your parts and the Emperor's providence and others.
I hope to minimize the risk. It will not have changed much since my departure from Lord Captain Fell's service. There are crews from Footfell who are often hired to travel over and work on vessels. I believe you hired some yourself in a recent visit, Captain Aquare, shortly after your original arrival on Footfall. So it is with Lord Captain Fell as well. If we were to employ a shuttle or lander of some sort to make our way over, it would run the risk of being noticed. However, I am aware that some of the scum that live on Footfall make inventive use of void suits and compressed air to transport themselves to vessels surreptitiously and take what they can when they can gain access to hulls. While my gifts predominantly lie in telepathy, I am capable of propelling myself in space as well. And so long as our band is small, if we found ourselves into the void, I could propel us to Fell's vessel. It would take time, and the risk would be that which comes being in the open void. But I could drift us over, tethered one to another, with me at one end. There are 3 ways of accessing that can gain the most direct route to the Vault Master. One is in the gears, the engine rooms. The risk there would be very few are permitted other than explorators and their servitors. We would need to be cautious advancing through there until we gained access to the halls closest to the Vault Master's quarters. The second would be through the habitats where his crew lives. There is a great unwashed mass. We would need to leave void suits behind to avoid discovery, or find a way to convince them that there is a reason we have made our way through. They who live in the HAB units come from across the wide galaxy, and it would not be difficult. I would need to be disguised in some capacity, because I don't doubt that some may recall me as Lord Captain Fell's favorite astropath. The third option is to go through the guts. These are the fluid processing and other reclamation systems. It would be the least aesthetically pleasant. And it is rumored in the reclamation systems there are creatures. Xenos opportunistic vermin. I have not seen them myself, but I have not had the misfortune of being in the reclamation substructures. Any three of those will take us to within reasonable direct routes of the Vault Master. And the Vault Master will have access to servitors who can transport the Archaeotech probe. So the gears, the habs, or the guts. That is the plan as I have formulated it. But I welcome insight from those who will be joining me on this venture.
Thoughts, gentlemen?
Well, I feel as though we are.
I put in chat for you.
Yeah.
Not the stealthiest.
Yep.
What she proposed to is not necessarily the only way to go through any of those specific areas too, guys. She's proposes based on her understanding of likely how she would approach these things. So for instance, if you guys have another way of getting through the gears, it's not to say that her way is the only way, or if her way of going through the guts is the only way. Likewise, not necessarily. You may have something to account for whatever might be encountered there. Same thing for the hab, same thing for the guts, so, or for the gears. Which is the least appealing to you? A decision between two options is sometimes easier than three.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of going through the gears. What are you guys thinking?
That seems not too appealing because we're not so much. The idea of wrestling with Xenos creatures seems not in all our skill sets.
Oh, that would be the guts then. So the guts.
The guts. Yeah, the guts.
Regis says no to the guts. Alessandra says no to the gears. What say you, Lord Captain?
I suppose the habs would require
perhaps a view of your vessel.
That's the one that she was the most concerned with her disguise, correct?
The habs, yeah, because she
Used to
may
be there.
have people who would recognize her.
Yeah. And we'd all need to be into some disguise, I assume, especially if we took that route. No point in looking like a rogue trader.
Disguise is something we can maybe get some assistance with. I do have it a little bit, but it's a creating disguises is a preparation thing. We're preparing ahead of time. The execution is less on us to fail. I don't know.
The downside of the gears was because very few have access. That was the main. That was the main downside?
Yeah.
Right.
The other place, there's reasons why other people might be in the habs. There's other reasons why people might be in the guts, although people may not notice that you're in the guts because it's effectively the sewers of the ship.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
But the gears, it is the engine, so it is typically only the servitors and the mechanicum who are operating, or the explorators who are operating there. If you're bringing Ocastus with you, then you have at least one person to hide, but it would be a matter of justifying the presence of you, the rest of you. Lady Ash is capable of dominating minds and of changing memories and things like that, but if you want her to do, she's doing that with everybody, you know, the more she makes use of it, the more there's a risk of failure or some incident with the warp. And she likely needs her strength in order to deal with the Vault Master, whose name, incidentally, is Vorgan. Vorgan the Vault Master.
I see.
You know, I don't mean to point this out because it's probably not terribly important right now, Lord Captain, but you don't have a Vault Master, do you?
Wait, he has a Vault Master? What?
Why don't I have one of those?
I didn't even know that was a thing. Why do we?
So clearly, we should put him into the void as we leave.
Lady Ash says it would make it unquestionable that our presence is there, but it would most definitely inconvenience Lord Captain Fell. Vorgan is his key for accessing the vault. And Vorgan, while he has not wronged me, his slate of sins would more than deserve such an end, Lord Captain.
Feels a bit too self-indulging in some way, but perhaps we evaluate in the mission, and if it looks like we will be revealed anyway, in that case, we treat Vorgan to the void instead of the vault. We can probably not, hopefully not, because we will be, if we believe that our ability to escape undetected is intact, then we will take that instead.
At your pleasure, Lord Captain.
Well, what do we need for this? We need to, if we're going to go with the Habs, which seems to be the notion, we will have to focus on disguises. And
Lady Ash says, I am familiar with what the officers of the Fell Hand wear, and could direct fabricators to prepare facsimiles for you, Lord Captain.
Maybe if they believed it was some sort of an inspection of their space, they would be attempting to be unseen and unnoticed so as not to have the inspection fall upon them. So instead of us being under scrutiny, they would be scurrying like mice to avoid a surprise inspection.
Yes, that seems wise. I think that's a good angle. And having you direct the formulation of the disguises, Lady Ash, would seem prudent.
Octus says,
The Probates Manufactorum textiles units will be at your disposal, Captain.
Very good. Well, any other concerns? Looking at Regius and Alisander, any other angles that need to be covered? You can think of. So we would have disguises made. We would don them. We would take void suits across the void a short distance to slip, hopefully undetected, into the HAB units.
Alisander, why don't you've got some kind of like lore for starships or something like that, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's under advanced skills, and it's under one of the tiered skills.
Imperial Navy? That one?
Yeah. Why don't you give us a... Hold up, let me reacquaint myself with the difficulties here.
Yeah.
Give us an easy check plus... Oh, does it... do the updated sheets, do they give you the names in addition to the numbers now?
Let's see. Modifier. Oh, it just gave me a modifier, and then I rolled.
Okay. Let me take a look at...
It didn't ask me a difficulty. Oh, that's at the top? I can't remember now.
No, the Imperial Maledictum sheet does that.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to do that.
Because if you... Okay, so it is still the modifier. So if you want easy, it's... Let me try this here. Oh, right, because he's not trained in it. Hold up. Let me try this again here. There we go. Okay, so that worked. So yeah, so then that is actually, sorry, because you have plus 30, that is 5 degrees of, hold on. That is 8 degrees of success for you. So, Alisander, you're familiar with small craft operation and whatnot, and like what Lady Ash has proposed, that's definitely, that is definitely one way to go about this, but you're effectively asking, she's proposing that like she slowly, depending on how fast she'd be able to move herself along with telekinesis, you're stepping outside into the void and then slowly drifting your way over towards this thing, which must take a fucking dog's age and leaves you vulnerable the entire time.
Yeah.
There are, feel free to come up with some of your own too, but like there are other ways to board a vessel beyond that. So setting aside the possibility of bringing, a ship or shuttle or whatnot off there too, boarding pods are a regular part of 40K. Like that's how you conduct boarding actions. Is you go over, slam into the side of a ship, it drills in, and then you dispose with your crew. There are, ones used by the formal Imperial Navy and the Astartes, and there's also ones that pirates and whatnot will fabricate, and there's other ways to fabricate those types of things too. If you don't want to do a pod that goes over, you likely could also work with some folks to use to, if not, if you don't have something to maneuver yourself in a void suit with thrusters, you could cobble something together, a crude, one-use vessel to get yourself over there as well.
Oh, yeah.
Direct yourself with, think of like what's this, that one episode of Firefly where they cut the power to the engines and then just use maneuvering thrusters to maneuver all the way in. Something akin to that. You just need to get some momentum going and then deal with it before you hit. That would get you there faster and also have a more secure way of going.
Right. And then maybe we could steal a shuttle or something to get off there.
Yeah, it depends on how... what you would want is Caster to change or speak to the machine spirits and change the logs so that they would either, depending on if you want them to know you've stolen something or not. As soon as a shuttle launches, there's a good chance that the Auspex sensors will detect that that's happened. Mm-hmm. If you don't mind them knowing that, then that's fine, but they will know a vessel is gone and gone elsewhere, which may merit a response.
Right.
If you are sneaking on and sneaking off, Alessandra, you are the resident pilot. Can you think of better ways, either among any of the suggestions that I had or other options you can come up with for transporting yourself there and safely transporting back the Archaeotech probe?
How large is this thing, roughly?
I think it's about the... Imagine... it's about... I'm trying to think of what would be a comparable common thing. It's about the size of like a motorcycle, a little bit larger.
Oh, okay. That's pretty big. That's a pretty serious thing to move.
If it is a piece of Archaeotech...
Muted, Sean.
Oh, Timon.
Hello. In fact, I was going to ask that question earlier, but I got sidetracked. Of how are we going to get it off if we did do the void suits? Would really be the plan to use the void ships off with the item? Seems particularly ambitious.
Yeah, like it. What Caster could tell you is that the Archaeotech is, if it's Archaeotech, it's probably old, which means it's probably to a degree fragile. But if it's a probe, it's been in open space for tens of thousands of years, so it is probably quite durable as well, or at least designed to have survived that environment. And at the least, if Fel has taken it, it did survive that environment intact enough to make its way into his vault.
Right.
But you're not wrong that there's likely a... it's something you don't want to lose, right, on the way back either. It would make, if you do successfully pull this off and then make your way back. As far as how mechanically we're going to do this, guys, we are going to use the... Gosh, it's like 2 pages in here.
Well, I mean...
Go ahead.
I was going to say that I think Alessandra's idea is that, like, a ship that large, while it's in dock, must just be pretty constantly getting deliveries of, whatever. I mean, you got to be restocking, like, food, supplies. It's just got to be basically, like, while you're in dock, this thing has got a train of supply ships going. What if we were to just either get on board or pay off some supply ship to catch a ride with them? One that would have room, that once their supplies are dropped off, we could easily fit this this object on there on the way back. Like, they'd have room, so we could just get right back on that same we'd have the window of them unloading their supply ship to go and retrieve the object and get back on.
So those would be going in and going to like storage or to one of the hangar bays. You can access the vessel that way, but remember the scale of it. That is a much longer route to getting to the vault. If you were to
see then from where we were,
from where the three options she's given you are sort of the closest and shortest routes. We're going to use the challenge rules, the exploration challenge rules, and use a series of skill checks in order to go through this to replicate you guys taking steps to doing all this heist stuff. The number of successes that you are going to need to complete the challenge is dictated on how far away from the Vault Master that you are going to be located. If you go to the just the way that the normal supply ships are going, then you're going to need to it's going to be a substantially more successes that you're going to need to successfully make your way there undetected, or at least without incident. But, Alessandro, you certainly could commandeer or buy off or control one and then just at the last second kind of go off and hope that it's not noticed.
Right, land somewhere different. That would work. I like that.
Okay. So if you buy off, have you any contacts at Void Dock Alpha Row?
Yes.
You
that's our place, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you got a warehouse down there, so you certainly could find your way in. So then that's going to be one of the skills that's likely to come into play. Stealth sounds like another one too. Where do you want to access, guys? It also, if you're doing that, it may mean that you're not going to have to wear void suits.
I mean, I still like the hab floor, personally, but
you don't want the radiation or the shit monsters.
No, I think that I don't like the other one. I mean, shit monsters sounds terrible, of course, but
Xenos.
So if there's anything worse than monsters, it's shit monsters.
Shit monsters are pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, Reed just did say he was keen on seeing some Xenos, though, so...
Advanced and highly intellectual ones. one's covered in shit.
Shitty Xenos, not so much. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
So the guts, it sounds like, is definitely a second choice.
I think so.
I think it's a third choice, but... So then, if the Habs are where we're going, then that's going to inform some of the skills that you guys would be able to make use of. The final route will be finding ways to... It will be a more... not necessarily highly trafficked, but highly monitored area. The Vault Master does hold a favored position, not quite equal on the fell hand to what you guys occupy with Lord Captain Aquare, but definitely, not living with the riffraff. The person who knows how to access the captain's treasures is kept in pretty good condition.
Right.
So, any other preparations? It sounds like we have Alessander going to be disguised. Same thing with Lord Captain Aquare. What about the Explorator, the Navigator, and the Astropath will be more challenging to disguise, at least to hide their natures. Have you guys any ideas?
And we're at this point, we're thinking we'd be disguised as delivery people, Alessander, rather than inspectors. Is that the...
No, that was to get there. We would get in the delivery, pretend we're a delivery ship. At the last moment, we'll instead dock at the hab floor, because that is where we want to make our way through.
Mm-hmm.
The disguise getting off the ship will be officers doing an inspection through the hab floors to try and send the crew scurrying away from us instead of confronting us. Make our way through there, acquire the thing, and then get back in and slip right back into the sort of delivery vehicles leaving the ship. That was the thought. The delivery was just the way to approach the ship, not the way to interact with it.
So perhaps we go with the disguises that Lady Ash can provide with her memory. But
for herself and for the navigator and for the explorator, what do you think? To be honest, to a non-mechanicum, one explorator may look very much like one mechanicum may look very much like one of the others. So that may not be a concern.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the Mechanicus is not as urgent. Like, it's not crazy that delivery would have a Mechanicus on board.
But again, not the delivery. I think we're talking about when you're on the ship, you're talking about the inspection.
I see, yeah.
Right?
Right.
Is that right, Jeff? You were thinking that the delivery, it's the ship that's going to give the reason to approach it, but once you're on the ship, your thought is still to go along with the inspection crew disguise.
Yeah, I think that's the one that creates the least questions. If we're a delivery crew and we're moving through the habs, then there'll be lots of questions.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and it's not. Yeah, and that it probably makes more sense that you'd have more unique you'd have more unique individuals in a higher status of inspection than you would with the delivery. It makes more sense to have a Regius in a inspection troop than it does in a delivery group. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And a Lady Ash, for that matter, in an inspection type of role. I mean, I think we just go. I think that doesn't sound too bad.
So, do you wish to conceal in any way the more noticeable characteristics of Lady Ash and Regius?
Yeah, and specifically Lady Ash's face. I don't know if we can. There are many odd things in the Expanse. I wonder if a psyker covering their face might not be completely crazy in and of itself.
Or a great big robe.
Right, excuse me.
I think big robes are necessary.
Yes.
She could do so.
Yeah, and something of a technical nature. I mean, we're not going to be inspecting bunks. We're going to be inspecting something more, a little more intellectual, a little more heighty. You wouldn't expect a blind with a single warpish eye inspector checking out the kitchen area.
I think that's probably the most noteworthy person who would be among there. Wouldn't be unusual to see an astropath going around for something. Having a navigator down there, though, that might be something. If they make the distinction between the two, between a astropath and a navigator, which the common folk may not do. Can you think of an explanation for why the navigator would be making their way through the habs? Or
some way to hide it. One or the other.
Yeah, I just need to have a big heavy hood, I think. And monkish outfit and
I didn't know you were Zodani, but
get myself covered off.
Yeah. Use a hood and then have some kind of ridiculous backup story if needed. Something to fall back on.
If you want to do the same thing you did with Lady Ash, the two of you could be concealed as if you were members of the Astropathic Choir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, and that might make the inspection extra scary for the people if they think that we have some astropaths.
Astropaths, yeah.
Astropaths.
If the psychers are making their way through there, that generally either means someone wants to try and fucking get something out of your skull, or there's something that's coming from the warp. So...
Right.
Not alarming at all.
No, not at all alarming at all.
In too many questions, we hit him with your eye, Regius.
Yeah.
Come into this room and look in my eye.
Yeah. Somehow we have to pull that off once, at least once.
Okay.
But, with the eye.
And you know I'll fail the roll anyway, so.
Now. So let's see here. Does it matter what we'd be delivering? Any specific thoughts on that?
Well, whatever delivery ship the our crew in the docks has access to,
that they want, that they've ordered. Yeah,
exactly.
very good.
Okay.
Very good. And then how?
The credentials enough to just not get shot out of the sky, right?
Yeah, and then how about the object? So on the way back, it could be rather peculiar looking. So we could use some kind of plan, even if it's bare bones. I mean, it could just be a mag lift, a Warhammer 40,000 version of a personal forklift, sled.
Lady Ash can tell you the vault master or the vault itself will have servitors for transporting those things. There are other riches that are in the vault that could not be easily transported by hand. Some can, for certain.
What if on our way through the Habs the first time, we talk about some kind of an inspection machine that we're going to be bringing back to scan the Habs, and sort of let rumors fly that there is some scanning machine or something that's going to be coming through the Habs, so that then when we come back with the machine, in fact, they're even more wanting to be clear a path and let us through and not have us scanning their part of the Hab,
It'll let our astropaths focus their power on more people at once in the Hab section.
Yeah, there you go. Some kind of
and any thoughts not on the Emperor will be noted. Indeed.
Yes, I like it.
Regius, this is Kev asking, not Lady Ash. Do you recall your eye ability? Is it blocked by walls or by corridors?
Yeah, you have to look. You have to see me.
So then, if you run into difficulties, Regius may be a way of ensuring that there's not an extensive firefight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we still have to really get 15
meters, but the trouble is you have to be preferably in a different room.
We've got to get that protocol down somehow of what protects us. So, if we covered our heads temporarily, I'm just brainstorming here. Would that protect us?
You will try and look at it.
We have to make a roll.
Look at that face, and you tell me that you could resist looking at, staring into those, deep baby jet blacks.
Indeed.
I mean, I can get you the mechanics, but essentially you will try and look at it. Look at me. You'll have an advantage compared with other people, but given that if you
what kind of roll is
potentially, let me get.
Is it a willpower check?
Yeah, let me just get it out because it will be quite important.
Yeah, because what you could do is
opposed willpower test.
And I think Lady Ash has a telepathic thing that can boost everybody's willpower, so she could shield the party. Or the lot of you, or at least bolster them, and then you could deploy your talents.
Yeah, it's not showing here, but I think I think further in the rule book, if you get a slight advantage if you know and you're trying to do it. But essentially, if you get less degrees of success than me, things go wrong.
Is it gaze into the abyss? Lidless stare,
It
right?
is lidless stare, yeah.
Yeah.
Lidless stare.
Because if you fail it, then you need to, apart from mundane bad things happening to you, you also have to do a difficult toughness test immediately.
Yeah, it's 15 meters. Those forewarned can look away, and grants plus 30 to their roll to resist its powers.
So that's quite good.
It's quite good. And then I think Lady Ash, if you warn beforehand, she can set up a shield, basically, to try and bolster. I spent time today rereading the psychic powers out of all 3 books to get this one, the Navis Primer and Into the Storm. And
Good.
yeah, because
I'm rolling on 72, and you've got to beat my degrees of success.
yeah.
And if you don't, then well,
And willpower is my worst stat.
Oof. But Lord Captain, you've so easily resisted temptation in the past.
Lady Ash trolling me.
Forgive me, Lord Captain. Sometimes the thoughts leak themselves out through my mouth, unbidden.
you like it. It's 2d10 plus 5 damage with no armor. But that's the good bit.
That's a good one.
You got to pass a toughness test, or you die.
Oh, so you take that damage if you pass the toughness test?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, this is not a.
It's 2d10
You will need
plus
to.
5 if you succeed in your toughness test, and if you don't succeed, you
So
just
really,
die.
the option is that if you run into trouble, everyone leave the room. Then Regius
Yeah.
deals with that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then continues walking through, zorching anybody who they find. All right. Then, guys, if we are, sounds like you got a plan to get yourself to the ship, through the hab unit, to the Vault Master's quarters. You know what Lady Ash is going to do to him. You know how you're going to access the vault afterwards. Transporting back through the hab unit and then back onto Footfall. Is that right? Or back onto the Mortis Probati, or back into a third party. You do have at least 2 friendly rogue traders who could meet you with shuttles. I mean, you guys have Aquila landers on your vessel as well, I imagine. So if you want to meet up with one of yours, just then someone who's tracking back through the flight control. Remind me again, who is it who runs flight control here? Oh yeah, it's those guys who threaten to shoot you if you don't pay up.
Yeah.
So certainly bribable, but someone might get that. So are you thinking back to the Mortis Probati, back to the what do you call it, to Footfall, or meeting up in between with something else? Whether that be...
if we had,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think if we head back to Football, it's draws the least attention. I feel like it's the sneakiest. At least that's what Alessandra thinks.
And then have one of our ships.
Yeah, we would have left
the
our
docks.
at the docks where we switched to the delivery vehicle.
You do have Void Dock Alpha Rose warehouse as well. You've got a warehouse down
Right.
here. Though whether you want to store something as precious as that there, is your discretion.
Yeah, I feel like we should. Yeah. Let's see.
I will tell
mean,
just from an
sure.
in-world thing, if you're bringing that back and then on one of those cargo run ships, and then you took the cargo from that and put it into one of your landers and then brought that back to the what do you call it, to the Mortis Probati, if someone happened, there's nothing distinguishable about the vessel that you're planning on using or hijacking to get out there. So it really is just if someone happened to see you guys moving something onto your ship and then off, that might tweak them off, but there's no reason to think that people would be concerned about that. There's tons of cargo that's moved around on Void Dock Alpha Royal.
Right.
So really just a question of where from the fell hand you want to go with that cargo. And it sounds like just you're going to carry it back to Void Dock Alpha Row and then either transport it to one of your landers or to the warehouse. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Then let's roll some dice, guys. So
Indeed.
we need first for someone to acquire one of the cargo shuttles. How do we think we want to go about doing that?
Did you specifically, Alessander, have connections, or is that just the house?
The house, Aquare does.
All right.
I don't have a specific one.
So perhaps this could just fall to either a charm or deceive. How is everyone's charm or deceive?
I don't know if charm is going to get it unless you're bribing these people, and I'm wondering if there's a bribe.
Yeah.
That's more of a barter, I think, is for bribing. But let me double check the skill description.
Yeah.
And if it is a barter, that means you can spend
profit
factor to affect the roll. Although what I will say is the more profit factor spent, the more the greater the likelihood that someone may overhear what's going on, and it was later discovered. So any bonus you get from spending profit factor will likewise be a bonus for, it's not shadowing. Inquiry. For any inquiry check to find out about any stolen things. So I'm trying to find the list of skills here. The heck? Here we go. All right, we were deciding between barter and
barter and deceive.
Yeah. Or commerce. Yeah, barter is really for like changing costs of things. Commerce is what's used for negotiating kind of agreements. Charm is used to change the friendliness of someone towards you. Deceive. You just trick people. So deceive is definitely something you could do to trick someone into getting control of the ship. Intimidate. Likewise.
Okay.
I think I'd say barter as well. Barter, if you've got it, you can also make use of that, because that is probably closest to bribery. Commerce is more like setting up arrangements, and it seems like more formal stuff. Honestly, if you'd rather use commerce, I'm probably fine with that as well.
Before we start the rolls on this, do we want to take a short break? We never took one.
Yeah,
today.
yeah. We did. That's right. We started late and then kind of dove right in.
The last hour
yeah.
is, yeah.
Why don't we take our mid-session break now?
Yeah, my Lord Captain, before we go, I may not be terribly useful at this stage.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah,
each roll is going to generate a certain number of successes. What you're going to do is once you guys have each made a roll, if you haven't got enough successes to reach the goal, some complication will show up. And then you'll deal with the complication, and then we'll carry on with you trying to get to your roll. So, Regis, even though you may not be great at this, hopefully there will be other things you will be able to contribute to.
Yep.
Melting brains, for instance. So,
Melting brains,
yeah.
yes.
So, for those listening at home, we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Sending people screaming into the wall. Yep. Treats every time we come.
All right. Hey, everybody at home, by the by. Scurvy Ninja, George, Hector, hope you guys are having a great start to your weekend. Came to melt brains and drink recaf, and I'm all out of recaf. Only one option left before you then. Oh. All right.
Has to be said, every time I see my Death Watch core rulebook, I realize how much I love my cats because they haven't been strung up.
Your camera's off too, James. I'm not sure if you're holding it up, but when we first adopted Emmy, I didn't realize how much she enjoyed just fucking destroying toys. and a Batman. One of my Batman. My son would get me every time we went to a convention. He'd get me a Batman. What are they called? Funko. Turns out Batman's greatest nemesis is a pit bull boxer, cross with a penchant for destroying toys because she bit the shit out of his head. So, yep. She actually chewed the corner of an RPG book too, but it was that Lords of it was the off-brand version of the Amber RPG, which is nice. Chad got it for me for my birthday 10 years ago, but it's not a game. I don't think I've run Amber or played Amber in 20 at this point. So, all right, guys, we are back. So, who would like to make a skill check at challenging to try and secure a cargo pod?
I can offer a 48. What can anyone else offer?
Sorry, what were the 2 skills for this one? Barter?
Barter.
I have a 44 barter.
Intimidate.
43.
It really just depends on how you want to describe what you're doing.
I have a 50 intimidate.
I've got a 61 in intimidate.
Ooh. Yeah, why don't we just scare them into doing what we want?
61 is attractive. Let's see. If you... Let's see, what would you go in there and just... could say it's the business of the astropaths or of the
Navigators?
navigators, of the navigator families. I'm just, riffing here. Of the Emperor's business.
Yes, I guess, yes. On behalf of the Navigators Guild, I require a ship. Now.
Okay.
I broke, no delay.
Would you give us an intimidate check then, please? Challenging.
That's a 0, right?
0, correct. 2 degrees of success.
There you go.
You guys have secured yourself a vessel. I guess the next thing likely is some kind of piloting check in order to navigate this sucker off the route that the rest of the cargo pods are going and down underneath the belly of the beast, as it were.
Show us what you got, Alexander.
I'm reminded again, you guys are going through the guts, right? Nothing but shit and monsters.
Habs, GM.
Oh, right. Sorry. I recorded that incorrectly. Forgive me.
Jiminy Christ.
My mistake, absolutely. So then that'll probably be... Is pilot one of the cascaded skills as well, where there's different specialties?
Yeah.
So is there a small craft one or something like that? Or shuttlecraft?
There's spacecraft and flyers. I'm not really sure the difference. Okay.
Yeah. I think spacecraft covers the actual, giant vessels themselves.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
And it'll get a 0 modifier, challenging.
Okay, 0 modifier.
3 degrees of success.
Yeah.
Well done.
What does it look like as we... So you can picture, and forgive me, is it the 5 of you have on your crew? You've got a member of the Aquaria House Guard joining you here, but I don't think you press gang them into this yet.
Yeah, do we want any of that? Let's see. So our plan is to have our ship at the docks, right? That we're going to make a transfer there, assuming everything else goes right. That's the plan? Am I right? That we have our own Mortis Probati flyer ship that'll be at the dock and then we take the delivery ship the rest of the way. But then when we bring back the item, we're going to be having our own Aquila lander at the dock to transfer the stolen or the gun cutter to the stolen goods, right?
Yeah, correct. That's what I was.
So maybe
That's-
maybe it behooves us to bring a one of the house guard or 3 at least to just sit with the gun cutter, just to be aboard. I think that would make sense. Some number, probably modest at least number to just be sitting with the gun cutter. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's no risk. I mean, it's our fighters sitting aboard our ship, so there's no discovery even. There's no risk at all there. They're just doing an utterly mundane thing, but they're available, and that makes them available if there's trouble at that phase.
Yeah.
Let's do
What
it.
does a modest amount mean to the Lord Captain?
Yeah, no more than 500. What about like 5? What do you guys think
Got
about
it.
5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
5? Do you guys think 5 is a good number, or
5 was exactly the number I was imagining.
all right? 5 it is.
Okay.
I've been talked down from 500, and we're going with 5.
You're a hell of a negotiator, Lord Captain.
Ooh,
I want
selected-
500. I'll give you 5. Done. So then, in answer to my question, then it's Lady Ash and Octus who are with you, and there's the 3 of you.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Okay.
Indeed.
So then you can picture that in this thing, there's the 5 of you who are now, changing, put it on your disguises or whatnot, and then Alessandra, what do we see is you bring yours away, and underneath this massive bulk of the fell hand.
It's not that massive. I mean, come on. it's half massive at best.
If your vessel is a fraction the size of this, what does that say about
Ours is stealthy. It's different. Ours is like
got it.
yeah.
Compact.
I mean, it honestly is probably a lot. Like you're saying, it's such a large ship. It's like an insect buzzing around. A large elephant or something. Like it's quite easy to avoid their detection because we're nothing to them. Even if we're off course or causing problems to them, it's like, oh, whatever. What's it gonna do? The mosquito doesn't hurt that much anyway.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So you quite easily, disappear. Really, unless the light is hitting you from a specific direction, you're, either, or you could even be the shadow of the fell hand as you make your way along. So wherever the light is coming from the distant star, you hide yourself under the shadowy bulk of this vessel until you kind of go up, and you can imagine as well, like, in spite of the size of this thing, the level of Gothic detail on the outside of this vessel must be just staggering. It's like finding it's a neighborhood-sized vessel that is nothing but, medieval architecture for the entire way along, but with the ferrocrete or whatever the hull is made out of. You make your way up to the halves, right? You got last chance for the guts? No takers on the guts. All right, you go up to the
We can
halves.
split up. We go all 3, GM. We split up.
Oof. Who's getting the short straw, and what does the short straw mean in this one? So you reach there. Who is making our next skill check for us?
What's the task at hand?
This is you deceiving the others, either disguising yourself or deceiving others about your nature. Remember, your crew, I think, has got a 30 as their skill. A 30 or a 34. Where's the...
I think we're leaving our crew at the cutter, at the gun cutter.
Oh, right. Well, because then Lady Ash, Octus, it may not shock you to learn, does not have a terribly impressive fellowship score. Which is to say, he is not taking the lead on that. However, let's see here. Let's checking for Lady Ash. Lady Ash is a 40. Someone of
48 deceive.
Okay.
How does everybody feel about that? Anybody have better deceive or what was the other one, Kevin?
I'm open to disguise. Is probably would speak to things, but if you're just trying to, sell it with your performance, deceive is probably one of the options.
Yeah, I can't beat that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think we're trying to really play it up here, ham it up almost.
Now,
hope that our surface ruse will be scary enough and to send them scurrying that we won't be under heavy scrutiny. I think is sort of our hope here.
Okay.
And this is us as officers, right? Not us any longer as delivery. This is
Correct.
deceiving them. Okay. I'll just put this in chat that I do have an air of authority. I'm just going to throw that out there.
That is a command test.
Okay. Yep.
Right. What are we having those under your charge?
I mean, I'm pretending they're under my charge, so I wasn't sure, but yeah, that's good.
In which case, yeah, it did, Steve. No, it's good. I was just going to mention that you guys should take a look at your talents once again, just to refresh your memory if there is anything that
maybe
might be of benefit here.
It's a good call.
Talents.
Yeah, I think all that does is it allows you to target more than one.
Yep.
Yeah, with your command skill. So it's definitely a useful skill, but it's not in this particular circumstance. Do you have anything else?
Let's see, talent-wise.
Don't you have that one that grants a +1 success level? Yeah, plus 10%.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do have my eyeball on it.
So what I'd say is that one can be used once in the course of this overall challenge if you want to give 10% to somebody.
Good. Yeah,
So-
I don't think, it would only get us up to 50 so far from what I'm hearing, because, for example, Lady Ash has a 40. I could give her 10 to a 50, but I'm a 48, so it's...
And
you
you have
use it
access,
right there.
you have access to fate points as well, too, which she does not.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go with my 48 deception.
Excellent. I have full faith in you, Captain. Lord Captain. Here it comes. Big money. Let's see.
All right, here, deceive. Yes, challenging, right?
Challenging, please. Yeah, 0.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. So you guys are done your first round of things, and you have not yet reached the number you need, which means we get a complication. So let me...
Tell me again the number. What are we aiming for, Kevin?
have not revealed it.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I tried, guys.
Do you appreciate the... what am I looking for here? I am looking for this. This. Okay. Okay. Love me a good random table.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
So why don't no, that's not actually all that helpful. Wonder. No. Oh, that's the setting info. Let's give me a second. I'm gonna grab one more book. There's a book I think would be interesting for this.
I feel like our plan is very sound. Let's hope our execution works out.
So far, execution's been good. Let's hope it holds up.
And it was anticipated, I imagine, that not everything was necessarily going to go according to plan.
Jeff, don't say that on a Friday night.
Okay.
Here come the 90 rolls.
Now, Regius, now.
No, we never discussed what our I don't know, our plan B was going to be if this was an ambush.
Oh, we didn't, did we? I think,
you need not worry. You need not worry, says Lady Ash. Just think of it. Lord Captain, would you give us a D20 roll, please?
Okay.
$13. Thank you very much. And then, Jeffrey, would you give us a D20 roll, please?
Okay. Right in the middle. Perfect.
Okay. So, what you find is, as you guys will tell us, tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing as you're making your way through these HAB units. So you can picture it's kind of like, imagine like a college dorm, but a lot more skulls on the walls and a lot older individuals making their way. Are you announcing what you're doing? Are you
sort of exactly like we're putting on a performance that this is an inspection and that we have these astropaths? No, I don't know. Is that right? Astropaths with us, and that we're gonna be scanning everyone. Maybe even we kind of let it slip that we're coming back with some kind of an advanced scanning machine, like we kind of talked about, to lay the groundwork for our return pass through these halls.
okay?
Everyone's getting scanned and probed on the way back.
Yeah.
So most people that you're finding are quite happy to defer and get out of the way and not worry about things. But there's one guy who you can hear, kind of like sticks his head out as you guys go by, and he's like, "What'd they say?" He says, "Oh, they're conducting scans, probes, whatnot. We didn't get no work order for that. Hey, hold up. I'm going to wake up Jack." And he leaves to go wake up Jack. And you guys overhear that he's going to wake up Jack. Now, none of you know Jack.
Nope.
So,
Not at all.
what do you guys... It does sound like he is trying to call in someone else higher up in the order. I think, Alessandro, you may be the only one among the five of you who appreciates what, those who are in command or are in, effectively the top of their department's positions, like Lady Ash or Regius or the Lord Captain, may not know what it's like to deal with people who are from not necessarily the same rank or have rank over you, but are important in other departments.
Right.
So it seems as if you have stumbled across one of those things where somebody seems to think that there should have been some kind of communication that the probe was going on. They're going to get their work crew head.
Right.
How do you want to respond?
Would a command skill come into play, or intimidation?
I mean, it could. It depends how Jack presents. But remember who you're guising yourself, who you disguised yourself as. You are not the Lord Captain. You are but a lowly sub-lieutenant or something.
Right.
But it's possible. What do you want to do, guys?
Oh, is it? I'll ask Lady Ash. Is it possible to remove his memory of us? Would that strain you too much?
She looks back. For whom? She looks. The guy's run down the hallway to go get Jack right now.
So he's already gone. Okay.
He's too far away for me to reach.
I see.
And it is not an unsubtle art. There's a little flash in her eye.
We would have to speak with Jack in a private room.
We would. Octa says, "Why don't we run?"
Yes, maybe we just get going.
Just hurry out of here. Yes. We'll deal with Jack on our way back through.
Then, if everyone is just going to run,
We all run.
Walk briskly.
Let's
A
make
commanding jog.
But while we're going, we'll be saying things like, "I believe we're supposed to be probing at the far end."
More probing.
More probes.
So there's not really like a skill. There's not an athletics skill in the game. Right, there's acrobatics, but it's agility.
You're gonna have us all use a swim roll.
Strength.
Contortionist. There you go.
Oh.
Yeah, hilarious. They got a contortionist skill, but not a.
bad.
There's no run skill either.
No.
So why don't we do this? Why don't you give us you're able to test toughness, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you give us an...
Yeah, it's funny. There's a swim and a climb, but no. No run or.
Well, rogue traders don't run.
Good point. Well done, Regius.
They march meaningfully.
Indeed.
So do you guys wish to march meaningfully then? Or...
Very quickly.
Give us a toughness, just a challenging toughness. I'm going to steal the mechanics from, what do you call it?
I am?
Imperium Maledictum, and just have it a contested roll. So whatever your degrees of success or failure, you just need to get... Nobody needs to do worse than Jack. And Jack is taking a penalty because he is behind the scenes. Or behind you guys, he's having to get warmed.
This is just a characteristic.
Yeah, just a characteristic.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Jeff, I should have said.
Oh, good one. 3 degrees.
Nice. All right, so we're not going to roll for... We're going to assume that Octus and Lady Ash are keeping up with you guys. It's not a great, roll. I think that it seems like Regius and Lord Captain are not necessarily used to hustling their way through a bunch of quarters and very quickly telling people, all right, we're going to probe, get back in the room. But it's enough. It seems as if whoever it was who was going to get Jack, if he got him, Jack didn't catch up to you guys. So you guys have made your way through to a different level or elsewhere in there. So your complication for now has been dealt with. So you are more than halfway through this task, which means your next task will be to reach the Vault Master without being found. How do you guys wish to do that?
I will offer up my commanding presence. Is that allowed?
For the plus 10? Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I'll be, okay, here we go.
So then Alessander, or... Well, it's just your talent, right? You can't use your command skill, no. Like, unless you can tell me how that would precisely come into play. How do you think that you would be relying on that?
I'm no rogue trader, Quarry. Step out of my way.
Yeah, that we were trying to be blustery and bureaucratic and obey us.
Yeah, perhaps if you did, someone did try and do that, and I think they stopped and they eyed you and looked at your rank, and were just kind of held their eyes on you, and then whoever they were with was like, "Come on, come on." And
I'll spend a fate. I'll spend a fate.
If you want to re-roll, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. So challenging once again.
Okay. Let's see here. Command. That's better.
Okay.
A little bit better.
So you managed to convince someone to do what? What do you think? Like, this is just for future guys. Tell me what you intend to use the skill with, then roll it, because I'm really more interested in the role-playing part of it rather than
the actual number.
Yeah, the actual numbers. Because
I'm trying to. I'm wanting to sell on our authenticity, so I'm saying like I am channeling my rogue trader at a lower rank, which is very difficult for me, and I'm saying like, out of the way, knave. We have things to do here by order of the command, and we're checking and we have scanning to do. There's been leaks, and if those scans don't turn out, we have to probe. You understand that? You understand the function, so I'm just, blabbering away.
Yeah. So you managed to, you were convincingly duped them to thinking that you belong here. So one other degree of success. You guys reach the stage where the Vault Master is located. Lady Ash says, perhaps this would be best done alone.
Of course.
She throws her robe back. The door opens to the Vault Master's quarters. You hear the Vault Master say, "I did not send for Ash." Oh no. And then the door closes. There's a period of about 15 minutes. What do you guys do during this time? If anything.
I guess try to be ready to sell our disguise if anyone comes upon us. Clipboard's fully out. Rogue Trader ship clipboards.
It's not a pad. It's a slate, isn't it? Data slate.
Data slates in full profile. I'll be pointing at things.
Did I tell you what my trick was for always looking busy when I was an articling student? I always carried around a pad and a pen and this look at my face.
Yeah.
So I'd be going to get coffee with my buddies, or I'd be going to get whatever, flirt with a paralegal. It was always walking around looking like you're real busy.
Yep. So I'll be looking at a data slate with Regius and frowning at Alexander. Which is pretty normal. Pretty normal.
Right.
Pointing at numbers and whatever is on there, you are clearly displeased with, and he is responsible for them.
Alexander. Yeah. A lot of head shaking and pointing at the data slate again.
Yes.
After round 15, sorry, what about you, Regis? Oh, you're muted, James. Cannot hear you. No. Yeah, Timo.
Super mute.
Super mute.
Oh, here, I'll Oh, James, you're muted in the call. That's why. You're muted in the Zoom call.
Oh, that's probably what he did.
Yeah.
Worth a first try anyway.
Google whatever the fuck.
Google Meet.
Yeah.
in the Google whatever the fuck. That's what we call the program.
Exactly. You may think it's a little crass, but it's very easily copyrightable. So,
Yeah.
James, go ahead now. No, I can't hear you now. He's unmuted in the Google what the fuck. But
Oh, no.
here is, hold up. There's the link to get back in, James, if you want to try. I think you fixed it last time by going out, going back in. No, not yet. It's so weird that it does that. George has that issue sometimes too with his.
Oh, really?
Oh, earbud battery died. There you go.
I hate that.
Oh, there's only 23 minutes left in. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Old school.
Yep.
Old school.
Exactly.
I like it.
It's a mud. This is our live action mud. So then what whatchamacallit? Do you have a speaker in your laptop or your computer? Oh, here we go.
Whoa. Not yet.
I can't hear you
Not
yet.
yet.
No. Is it set to have that as the input source though? Well, he may not be able to hear us. Now you can hear us. Okay, good. Good.
All right.
Good.
First things first.
Yeah. Oh, got it. Okay. So, well, you can hear us. So there's that.
Yeah.
Then, well, I'm gonna resist and making any, James, agree with this. If you don't, you go ahead and say something. If you don't agree with, no, all right, got it. So then, Regius, I'm assuming, is keeping himself disguised as a astropath for the duration of this. Give us a Psynescience check, please, Regius.
See if you can focus. Oh.
So there is a wave of something very potent, psychically speaking, just happened in the room behind you. Someone exerted a great deal of psychic power, and then the door opens, and she comes out once again. She has the look of a little bit of exhaustion on her face, and she pulls the disguise back up over her hood. I have what we need, Lord Captain. We should make haste.
Lead the way.
This way. You guys are able to successfully make your way down to the vault without much difficulty. When you reach there, you find that it is effectively one giant door set into the bulkhead, and it appears, Lord Captain, that whatever you make the superstructure of these ships out of, the stuff that's supposed to act as the skeletal structure or the spine of these vessels, he has used that to fabricate the vault itself. You would think that even in the case of the most catastrophic damage done to this titanic vessel, this may be the last thing to break apart for how durable and tough it seems. Lady Ash goes to a small screen and indicates she needs Octus's assistance with something, communing with the machine's spirits within, no doubt.
Very good.
While she is doing so, the three of you are sitting aside, and what did you guys each give us an
Awareness?
awareness check, please? Try to remember something. It's
Challenging?
perception in this game. No, make it routine, please, plus 20.
Okay.
Okay. So, Alessander, you're the first one who picks up on this, that it appears that Octus is having some difficulty. And Lady Ash seems to be kind of... oh, you spent a fate point there, Regius? I saw the re-roll, so. Or did it? Might have rolled twice. Oh, got it. Okay. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Plus sign means that the warp opens. So Regis has opened up a fold in the warp for you all. What you would guess for both Regis and Alessander, it seems as if it's not that lady, he's not doing it fast enough. He seems to be running into a bit of a challenge.
Oh.
And whatever's talking back and forth, but before any of you really get a chance to move, it seems to finish working. And then he gestures and kind of, nervously backs away from her. His mechadendrite kind of cowering like a scolded animal. Lady Ash is able to input something, and then a series that lasts about 5 minutes of locks. It takes quite a bit of time for all the doors to open up until you finally have access to the vault itself. And you can see that there are 4 combat servitors who are stationed in here, who immediately turn to face you guys. You recall what the heavy bolter did to your last arc militant, and the mist that he suddenly transformed into when he was subject to one of these weapons. Unfortunately, they seem to do little more than look at you and do not raise those weapons.
Thank God.
Lady
That was
Ash
stressful.
points towards a casket of sorts, sort of like a very oversized coffin. And she says, in there. And Octus, unsurprisingly, kind of hurriedly moves his way over towards it to begin inspecting this thing to see what is there. And while he does, Lady Ash seems to move elsewhere within the vault. What do the three of you do?
I say to Regis quietly, keep an eye on her, no pun intended, and I then move towards the casket after Octus.
Lord Captain, I trust you've got a lore of some kind relating to rogue traders, do you?
I do.
Why don't you give us a challenging check with that, please?
All right. There we go.
So you step in. Once again, why don't you have a vault? But it occurs to you, do you think a rogue trader would be so paranoid as to be notified every time his vault is opened? Would you? You really don't have much time to think about that, though, because Octus says, "It is bound. It's bound."
Do I know what that means?
Easily.
I go up, I say,
Actually, hold on.
speaking...
Do you have training in tech use?
Negative.
Okay.
I say, speak plainly, man.
Forgive me, Lord Captain. The Archaeotech probe is here. It is bound. The spirit and the binding invocations and rituals that wrap the spirit in place. They are of our era. I know not whether Fell did this, or whether one of my brethren did. The spirit is chained. We still can move it. But I fear The chains may be weakened.
The chains may be weakened by us moving it.
He nods excitedly.
And what is that bad?
I know not why you would chain, unless for fear of it gaining loose. This may be a malevolent machine spirit, Lord Captain.
Well, do we have a choice? I mean, I guess our only choice is not taking it. That would be.
I can work on further bindings on the probati, Lord Captain, to strengthen what is here and improve upon it.
Let's do so. We have to move quickly. And I look around to see if Lady Ash and Regius, that I asked him to look.
Regius, what you see, Lady Ash makes her way down to a, effectively like a, you can picture kind of like a, not a bank vault, because there's corridors, kind of like an evidence locker, like a police is like that, but just with incredible riches stored on different shelves and open on the floor and such. She makes her way over to a very specific place. She does not seem to be studying the walls or trying to like read what is where. She seems to know precisely where she is going, and she makes her way over to a locker where she confidently enters some kind of thing on a slate that is attached to it, and you can hear a lock open. The thing opens up. It is a freestanding locker. She reaches in, and what comes out is most definitely something of interest to you. You need not make a roll, because that sword that she drew from within is most certainly of Eldar make. She draws this out, and you can feel with your great Senescence roll from before, there is a little flush or flutter in your stomach as she seems to imbue it with some of the power of the Immaterium. She looks over at you, her eyes blazing blue, those blind eyes. And she says, "There is sadly only one." Just come, the Lord Captain awaits. And she brings you over to, she rejoins you there. Octus has gone over and is beginning to effectively take command of the, of a quartet of labor servitors that come stomping out, and they each take a place at almost like pallbearers at their servo spines winding as the four of them lift up this massive casket. We now return to our challenge. What skill do you guys wish to use next to try and effect your escape from here? You can definitely go back through the HAB units, but
you'd like to suggest the guts?
Well,
Right,
you
he's
have
trying to
only one more roll, I believe. No, you have two more rolls. You have two more rolls, and you still have a little ways to go. So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking he's trying to get us into the sewers, people.
That's tomorrow. We got all morning in the sewers tomorrow, so.
Oh my goodness.
Once again, the size of the vessel is large enough. You can definitely, avoid the same place you ran into that problem.
Yeah.
Right, like even if we go through the HAB units, like we're talking like one ginormous, it's not like a dormitory from the university, it's like 8 dormitories side by side, right? Because this thing is like huge. So we could just take a different path back, and then if Jack is there, he might not even find us.
Exactly.
I think that's a good strategy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where our ship is anyway.
So what are you thinking for skill?
I'm thinking.
Going to shadowing might be a useful one because you guys are. You're not necessarily following someone, but you are trying to avoid. Concealment as well. Although shadowing is moving while being. Some of these skills have unusual names and unusual applications.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny, like survival in most games would seem silly, but it specifically says that it actually includes man-made environments such as artificial worlds.
Absolutely. Yeah. You want to use survival?
Yeah, the depths of the belly of massive ships, which would be the
Oh wow.
area.
So
So
Alice,
it's like Alessander knows these areas well of the ship. He's studied them. He spent lots of time in them, and
Nice.
unlike the captain, he's been down in the habs many times of ships like this.
Yep. Go ahead and give us a survival check, please.
I'll leave.
I would go, but I have so much to do on the bridge. You understand?
What's the challenge? Just flat?
Challenging. Yeah, 0.
0. Okay, here we go. Come on, roll 20. Don't fail us right at the end of the day. Oh
Nat
my goodness, Alessander.
1, baby.
What?
Jeffrey,
Amazing.
why don't you tell us what it looks like as you make your way through the habs and back to your acquired cargo vessel?
I think it's just like it's his perfect knowledge of these kind of spaces. It's like he's taking them down hallways that like maybe there's not even that many people. It's like, oh, this is the cleaning. Oh yeah, right here. Turn through here. This is the cleaning staff pathway. You know, they won't even notice us here. And it's just sort of all of these like dips and turns that you wouldn't expect. You know,
Through the cactus shops.
yeah. This is where they sell the illegal, you know, this is usually where the guys set up the sort of black market for the ships things. They won't question us at all.
Oh, yeah,
right?
they'll grab their tables and wares and run out of the way as soon as they see someone in an officer's uniform.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just sort of like that. Everywhere we go is perfect.
You guys would also notice that Lady Ash seems to have a newfound sword that she has brought with her from there as well. It is now concealed underneath her robes disguise, but she most definitely
See
I'll
her
give her-
real reason.
I'll give her a look. Oh, a new bauble do you have?
all the better to serve you, my Lord Captain.
I see. As we're going along.
Yeah, Alessander just thinks like, see the real reason that we came here. I mean, this item will work for us, but I see that she's gotten what she came for.
As you say, it is unlikely she was doing it for nothing.
Exactly.
So, when you reach the pod, you're able to leave. You need not make another check, but why don't you tell us what it looks like, Alessander, as you detach from this titanic vessel and make your way back to the macro stage. It's so fucking weird. Even changing pages, it gets rid of the formula.
Oh,
Yeah, it's weird. We'll have to check tomorrow and see if this is doing this on all sheets or whether it's only this one.
yeah. It's just I think that Alessander is quite high on the adrenaline of the operation and just how well his tactics worked there. That he
It's a little faster than you expected.
yeah, the confidence on the ship here is just through the roof here for him. He's feeling
All right.
great.
And
Quinelli's feeling pretty certain it's probably his command. I mean, that he was able to bring to bear.
Probably right.
Probably. I mean, obviously, everyone did their part, but leadership matters, is what his father used to say.
Yeah.
And having seen that sword, he's wondering, oh, should I have shopped for yet a third weapon in there? And as he's going along.
Give me 1 second here. I want to check one thing. There we go. Oh. Jeffrey, we have one roll I need you to make before the end of session. Bear with me a moment here. It is... Here we go. Would you kindly give us a 1d10 roll, please?
Numero 5.
So you are making incredible progress. You've left the fell hand, making your way, angling around towards Void Dock Alpha Row. As you said, absolute top of the world. The thrusters completely die. Power source still active. Life support still active. Sensors still active. It was there one moment, gone the next.
Alexander, is that planned?
Drifting to the side. I think we will leave to see what your answer is in 2 weeks' time. So, unless James, did you want us to finish up right now? No. He says definitely wait for 2 weeks. Got it. Okay. Then, guys, that brings us to the end of today's session. I think it's 150 XP in this game, isn't it?
That sounds correct. We can take a little peek, but that sounds reasonable.
I think that's what you guys...
Find.
Yeah, I've been gaining... I don't know why I'm fixing it now. This is just going to change between now and next session, I'm sure, anyway. All right, then, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for part 23, or session 23 of our, this leg, the lure, 23 is the number of sessions in this campaign, not just this leg, in our ongoing Rogue Trader campaign. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where all of us are active, and we have channels there dedicated to this game, this campaign, that's right, yeah. Most of the campaigns and games we run on the channel. There's also things like GM discussion, find a group, virtual tabletop chat, tons of very helpful, knowledgeable, and friendly people over there, and you are more than welcome to join us. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have an incredible selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs like Rogue Trader. Many of my books I actually got from Noble Knight as well. If you make a purchase of $10 or more through their website, be sure to enter the code HAPPYMUSEYEAR. It's listed in the description of the video. It'll save you 10% on any purchase of $10 or more through their website. I know because I tested it again today. If they don't have something in stock that you're looking for, you can put it on a want list and they'll send you an email when it comes in. There is also also just as a reminder for regular viewers, on May 31st, we will be having our annual charity marathon session. We'll be doing a 16-hour session of Dragonbane, playing a custom adventure called The Doom of Drakengard. We have that split up into 4 parts, and we have many roster players who will be joining us at the table for that one. I'm very sorry for what's going to happen to them all that day, but it should prove to be a lot of fun watching the Doom of not only all of our heroes, but also the Doom of Drakengard. Again, it's May 31st, starting at 8 a.m. CST, going till midnight. 16 hours, all donations that will be made throughout the course of that stream will go to SOS Children's Villages International, the usual charity that we support on our channel. And donors will be able to impact the play, either to make things easier, more difficult, or otherwise more interesting for our heroes over the course of play. I'll have more about that shortly, but yeah, mark that in your calendar if you want to see some more Dragonbane or see what a 16-hour session looks like. The last thing I will say is a huge thank you to our stalwart heroes, or explorers. Sean, Jeffrey, and James, thank you so much for playing tonight, guys. It was really great to be back with the bridge crew of the Rogue Trader, and I'm really excited for our upcoming summer with the Space Marines. So James cannot speak right now, but he's saying words, so I know. We'll be back in I guess a drift around Footfall in 2 weeks' time. But until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our explorers are finding as they're just trying to secure a gift to give to a bunch of witches. I mean, what possibly could go wrong with that kind of setup? Wait, now that I've said it out loud, I think I have some idea. But in any event, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time. Until then, for those listening at home, thank you again for joining us. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.